was a good day. Yeah, we quite a bit of live work today, and just focusing a little more defensively and rebounding. Those are some things that we gotta shore up and continue to work on. But the ball was moving around great. Very competitive both groups, so it's a really solid day of practice.
You never want to say that academics are a distraction, but do you find this time of year after finals and before the spring semester starts is a period where you see like the most improvement maybe in the team in season?
It's possible. The improvement of the guys' spirits is, now that they're not in class and they could, have more time to themselves when they're not getting ready to play or practicing. So, yeah, the spirits were good for sure in that regard.
Okay, I know you've been asked a little bit about this already, but you're the only one who's been through this sort of circus. What do you tell the players about coping with this kind of national attention?
I think they've earned it. They weren't anointed, prior to the season with anything. They've had to earn everything they've had, all the credit they've been given, every win. So I want them to enjoy it and, appreciate the success. But they're still very grounded. These guys are still very, very hungry, very motivated, and that's every indication I'm getting from what I see being around them and in practice. But they are happy. It's good to feel good about yourself and because of what we've been able to accomplish so far.
Bobby, during the summer, obviously the guys are working hard. You're believing the best that they're going to come out and perform well. But with this early success, did you envision this? And now that it's here, what's this experience like?
It's just you don't know how it's going to shake out. You feel like you have a good group and a team that is going to be very competitive in any of these games. And I had a strong feeling because I knew how much better the guards were getting and how much better they looked. And then you're adding Remy Martin and Mickey Mitchell and Kamani Lawrence to that mix. And then I knew we had the balance with our inside game that we just lacked last year. So I knew the success was going to be better. I just, you don't expect necessarily when you look at the schedule to run the table up to this point and beat the type of teams we've beaten. So it's, you just appreciate it. And then you kind of move on and get ready for the next battle.
From a confidence standpoint, how did you convince a team that didn't have the pedigree or the history of Duke or Kansas that they could get to this one?
These guys are they're players. The seniors had to fight through a lot. There was a lot of tough times the last 2 years. They played well individually, each one of those guys, Shannon, Trey, and Cody, but we just didn't have the consistent success that we were all hoping for. And so they were hungry to go out as seniors and be respected as winners, and they are winners, and they're showing that now. And they came in again as great leaders the last 2 days and kind of refocused the group. It's a heck of a lot easier to coach when you have guys like Trey, Shannon, and Cody leading.
You mentioned
You saw the guards improve a little bit, Bobby. What steps did they?
Well, it's just when you play and you play in these high-level games against great competition in a great league like the Pac-12, you learn about yourself and you fine-tune your game, and you know who you are as a player, and you could see where you can attack, and just their overall efficiency on offense is staggering. They're Shannon Evans and Trey Holder, two of the most efficient offensive players in college basketball, and that's been a process of maturing and developing and understanding who they are as players.
Bobby, you've been a big proponent of you get better by playing the game and then working on the skill set per position. Where does that come from, and take us in that philosophy, because it's obviously paid off?
I'm sorry, could you just give me?
Yeah, you're a big proponent of playing the game, these guys playing against each other and then working on their skills. Take us inside that philosophy of just, that's how you condition, that's how you play, that's how you get better.
Well, I think that we have a mixture in our practices of working on our execution, and there's a lot of different ways that we could get to the point where we're going to attack our opponent, and different formations, different things that we do, and that gives the guys a framework in the half-court offense. But I also loved in that Kansas game when I gave up control of the team and put it in the hands of of Trey, Shannon, Cody, and Remy, and trusting them as decision makers and playmakers out there. And when the game got up and down in that second half, I liked our chances just because of how those guys were playing, and they're playing on instinct, and they're playing off each other. They're playing unselfishly, and the ball was moving pretty well.
How much did you do that last year, where you would just let them kind of take over the game?
I mean, it was, but again, it's just they had so many responsibilities, and I tried to explain that to you guys as best I could last year. It's like Cody trying to guard the guys he was trying to guard, and asking Shannon and Trey to block out 7-footers every time down. It's not easy. Now we've with the inside game and the presence of Romello White and Daquan Lake and Vitaly's coming on, even him hitting that first 3 for us and to get us going, and at Kansas was a big shot early in the game, and so they're now freed up to be who they are more. I think they would have shown that on a more regular basis last year if I had done my job a little better and sooner and gotten them some help.
I don't know if you saw the video, but earlier today, Sean Miller said that you guys at the number 5 spot was underrated. I mean, get your thoughts on that.
I don't really get caught up on where we're ranked, and super proud to be considered in that company at this stage of the season. There's just a lot of basketball left to be played, and I know that there's people that feel that we have at this moment, the best resume in terms of winning neutral site wins, championship on a neutral site against top programs, and then to go on the road and win that type of road game. It's just it rarely happens. So I appreciate Sean saying that. I think we got to push for each other in the Pac-12 and support each other as best we can.
Melo's putting up numbers, but it seems like it's easy to be overshadowed by how good everybody else is doing around him. But how important has he really been?
He's terrific. I mean, everything is focused on the Kansas game right now, but that Kansas game wouldn't have had the meaning that it had on Sunday if we didn't get through St. John's. And St. John's was a hard game, and Melo came through. He delivered in that game, and just 22 points, 9 rebounds, and scoring inside. We played through him quite a bit in that game, and because of how well St. John's defends on the perimeter. So we have different ways that we can attack our opponent, and Romelo's a big part of it.